Good morning. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Hope you had a beautiful day yesterday. My daughter had a lovely birthday. We had a good time. So if I was a little out of pocket yesterday, I hope you'll forgive me. But she turned 15. We're pretty excited about that. Okay, I forgot yesterday to have you guys respond with something, so I'm going to try to remember that today. And we have 10 pages, 10-ish pages to get through. So I'm going to get started, and hopefully we'll get done in a timely manner. Here we go. I am on page 213. It is Henry V, Act 5, Scene 2. We're almost done today and tomorrow, and we're done with all of our reading. Okay. We are in France at the Royal Palace, and the King Henry and also the King of France are there, and the Princess Catherine and her lady-in-waiting Alice, several dukes. We have Exeter, Bedford, Warwick, and Westmoreland, and other lords there with King Henry. So we have two pretty auspicious retinues for each king. All right, here we go. King Henry will start the talking. They're here to negotiate the treaty, remember, like we talked about yesterday. Peace to this meeting, wherefore we are met, unto our brother France, and to our sister, health and fair time of day, joy and good wishes to our most fair and princely cousin Catherine. And as a branch and member of this royalty, by whom this great assembly is contrived, we do salute you, Duke of Burgundy. And princes, French, and peers, health to you all. So it's just a royal greeting. The King of France says, right joyous are we to behold your face, most worthy brother England, fairly met. So are you, princes, English, everyone. So these are the royal, and they are spoken in the royal we. So they are representing their entire country, not just themselves. They likely do not mean one word of what they're saying to each other because they really don't like each other, but they have to be noble in the way that they address one another. The Queen of France is now going to speak, Catherine's mother. Now, remember, she lost her son, the Dauphin, so, probably it has been 5 years, but still probably a sore spot. So happy be the issue, Brother Ireland, of this good day and of this gracious meeting, as we are now glad to behold your eyes which hitherto have borne in them against the French that met them in their bent, the fatal balls of murdering basilisks, the venom of such looks we fairly hope have lost their quality, and that this day shall change all griefs and quarrels into love. So she says, the last time we saw you, you were looking as deadly as a basilisk, and I'm sure those of you who've read Harry Potter and other works like that deal with a basilisk, you know how deadly those are. Excuse me. King Henry says, to cry amen to that, thus we appear. Queen of France says, you English princes all, I do salute you. Burgundy says, my duty to you both, on equal love, great kings of France and England, that I have labored with all my wits, my pains, and strong endeavors to bring your most imperial majesties unto this bar and royal interview. Your mightiness on both parts best can witness, since then my office hath so far prevailed that face to face and royal eye to eye you have congregated. Let it not disgrace me if I demand before this royal view what rub or what impediment there is, why that the naked, poor, and mangled peace, dear nurse of arts, plenties, and joyful births, should not, in this best garden of the world, our fertile France, put up her lovely visage. Alas, she hath from France too long been chased, and all her husbandry doth lie on heaps, corrupting in its own fertility her vine, the merry cheerer of the heart, unpruned, dies. Her hedges, even pleached, like prisoners wildly overgrown with hair, put forth disordered twigs. Her fallow, lees, the darnel, hemlock, and rank fumitory doth root upon, while that the coulter rust that should deracinate such savagery, the even mead, that erst brought sweetly forth the freckled cowslip, burnet, and green clover, wanting the scythe, withal uncorrected, rank, conceives by idleness, and nothing teems but hateful docks, rough thistles, kexy burrs, losing both beauty and utility, and all our vineyards, fallows, meads, and hedges, defective in their natures, grow to wildness. So he's talking about how France has always been a garden of beautiful things, and it is still to this day, but that because of the deaths of so many of their men and the battle, the destruction of battle, and the kind of fallout that happens from those things, that they have gone into, their garden is overrun and needs workers, because of course when you lose so many men in battle, those kinds of things happen. All right, so we are at line 57, I believe. Even so, our houses and ourselves and children have lost, or do not learn for want of time, the sciences that should become our country, but grow like savages, as soldiers will, that nothing do but meditate on blood, to swearing and stern looks, diffused attire, and everything that seems unnatural, which to reduce into our former favor you are assembled. And my speech entreats that I may know the let, why gentle peace should not expel these inconveniences and bless us with her former qualities. So the Duke of Burgundy is saying that he thinks that France will do much better once they have a peace decided upon. All right. King Henry says, if Duke of Burgundy you would the peace, whose want gives growth to the imperfections which you have cited, you must buy that peace with full accord to all our just demands, whose tenors and particular effects you have scheduled briefly in your hands. So King Henry says, I'm happy to sign a peace treaty today if you give me everything I ask for. And in some ways we can understand that Henry would have the right to demand that, seeing as how he is the victor. He was the victor on the battlefield and defeated essentially almost the entire army of France. All right, Burgundy says, the king hath heard them, to the which as yet there is no answer made. Well then, the peace which you before so urged lies in his answer. So then we've decided we're just waiting on France. France says, I have but with a cursory eye or glance the articles. Pleaseth your grace to appoint some of your council presently to sit with us once more with better heed to resurvey them. We will suddenly pass our accept and peremptory answer. So he says, if I get to look over them a little better with some of your counselors to explain some of the things, then perhaps I can sign it even today. King Henry says, brother, we shall. Go, Uncle Exeter, and brother Clarence, and you, brother Gloucester, Warwick, and Huntingdon. Go with the king, and take with you free power to ratify, augment, or alter as your wisdom's best shall see advantageable for our dignity, anything in or out of our demands, and will consign thereto. Will you, fair sister, go with the princes, or stay here with us? So Henry says, that's fine, and I'm going to send all of these men, my uncle, my brothers, and other nobles with you, and I'm giving them full right to change the document if necessary, if they think it's best. And then he turns to Catherine. He says, are you going to go with them as well? And the queen says, our gracious brother, I will go with them. Haply a woman's voice may do some good when articles too nicely urged to be stood on. King Henry says, then you leave our cousin Catherine here with us. She is our capital demand, comprised within the forerank of our articles. So the first thing he wants, the first thing on his list of desires after this battle is that he get Catherine to be wed. So she's already been offered to him, and he is claiming her as his prize. And the queen says, she hath good leave, so she's welcome to stay. King Henry says, fair Catherine, and most fair, will you vouchsafe to teach a soldier terms such as will enter at a lady's ear and plead his love suit to her gentle heart? So he says, can you teach me the love language of French, which French is known as the language of love? Your majesty shall mock at me. I cannot speak your England. Oh, fair Catherine, if you will love me soundly with your French heart, I will be glad to hear you confess it brokenly with your English tongue. Do you like me, Kate? Pardonnez-moi, so pardon me. I cannot tell what is like me. An angel is like you, Kate, and you are like an angel. And then to Alice she says, Que dit-il? Que je suis semblable les anges? Oui, vraiment, en votre grâce. Ainsi dit-il. Okay, so let's go back over here. She says, what is he saying? That I am like the angels? And she says, yes, truly. She's saving your grace. That is exactly what he says. And Henry says, I said so, dear Catherine, and I must not blush to affirm it. Oh, bon Dieu, les langues des hommes sont pleines de tromperie. So she says, oh my goodness, you understand. I think basically what she's saying is that you understand my language. Henry says, but he couldn't quite understand her. So he says, what says she, fair one? That the tongues of men are full of deceit? Alice says, oui, that the tongues of the mans is be full of deceit. That is the princess. King Henry says, the princess is the better Englishwoman. In faith, Kate, my wooing is fit for thy understanding. I am glad thou canst speak no better English, for if thou couldst, thou wouldst find me such a plain king, that thou wouldst think I had sold my farm to buy my crown. I know no ways to mince it in love, but directly to say, I love you. Then, if you urge me farther than to say, do you in faith, I wear out my suit. Give me your answer in faith, do, and so clap hands and a bargain. How say you, lady? Sur votre honneur, me understand well. On my honor, or saving your honor, I understand well. And Henry says, Mary, if you would put me to verses or to dance for your sake, Kate, why you undid me. For the one I have neither words nor measure, and for the other I have no strength in measure, yet a reasonable measure in strength. If I could win a lady at leapfrog, or by vaulting into my saddle with my armor on my back, under the correction of bragging, be it spoken, I should quickly leap into a wife. So Henry says, I don't have these more gentle arts of dancing and wooing and writing poetry and all of these things that would normally, as we would think of it, go into the art of chivalry, or love, or wooing a woman. But he says, but if I can, win you with arts of battle or, kind of jumping into my saddle, then I would already have a wife at this point. Starting at line 146, he says, or if I might buffet for my love or bound my horse for her favors, I could lay on like a butcher and sit like a jackanapes, never off. But before God, Kate, I cannot look greenly, nor gasp out my eloquence, nor I have no cunning in protestation, only downright oaths, which I never use till urged, nor never break for urging. So I don't make oaths lightly, and I don't break them after I make them. So I am not saying this beautifully, but I am promising you to be your husband, and I mean it, and I won't break it. Okay. Then 152, if thou canst love a fellow of this temper, Kate, whose face is not worth sunburning, that never looks in his glass for love of anything he sees there, let thine eye be thy cook. I speak to thee, plain soldier. So remember, he likes calling himself a soldier. That's how he identifies best. And here he says it again, even when he is trying to convince someone to marry him. If thou canst love me for this, take me. If not, to say to thee that I shall die is true. But for thy love, by the Lord, no. I'm not going to die for your love, but I would like to marry you. Yet I love thee too. And while thou livest, dear Kate, take a fellow of plain and uncoined constancy, for he perforce must do thee right, because he hath not the gift to woo in other places. For these fellows of infinite tongue that can rhyme themselves into ladies' favors, they do always reason themselves out again. So he's speaking of this courtly love notion where they write poetry and they speak sweet nothings into a woman's ear, but they make their vows lightly, and they easily use reason to reason themselves back out of the vows that they've made. And so he's saying, I'm plain, I'm a soldier, I say that I'll marry you, I say that I'll love you, I say that I will, take care of you, and that I will do, and you can count on it, even though it's not anything beautiful to listen to. Okay, what? A speaker is but a prater, a rhyme is but a ballad, a good leg will fall, a straight back will stoop, a black beard will turn white, a curled pate will grow bald, so a head covered with curly hair will also grow bald, a fair face will wither, a full eye will wax hollow, but a good heart, Kate, is the sun and the moon, or rather the sun and not the moon, for it shines brightly and never changes, but keeps his course truly. So during this time period, they did not use the moon as a fixed notion because it looks as though it changes every day because of the way the light shines on it. So, okay, if thou would have such a one, take me, and take me, take a soldier, take a king. And what sayest thou then to my love? Speak, my fair, and fairly, I pray thee. Okay, so today I want you to respond with, do you think that Kate is going to take Henry V, or do you think that she will say, no, thank you? All right, you guys have a great day, and we will finish up scene 2 tomorrow. Bye.